The relentless shadow, the global wild boar crisis. Opening scene, dusk on the farmland. The sky bleeds orange as the sun sinks behind endless rows of corn and sugarcane. For generations, these fields have been a cradle of life, fertile soil carrying the hopes of families who rise with the dawn and labor until the stars appear. But tonight, the air vibrates with a quiet dread. Somewhere beyond the tree line, heavy hooves churn the earth. An invasion is coming. The farmers feel it in their bones. They have watched the signs. Broken fences, half-eaten stalks, and tracks stamped deep into the mud. The wild boars are near. A peaceful visit turns to war. I arrived in Bob's hometown expecting a peaceful weekend. Golden sugarcane shimmered in the late afternoon light, children played along irrigation ditches. But as I walked through the gate of his family's farm, I felt the tension instantly. The fields were scarred. Crops flattened, soil ripped open as if by giant claws. Bob's mother stood silent, her eyes hollow with sleepless nights. This was more than a nuisance, it was devastation. That night, over a dinner of quiet conversation, Bob said, "We're losing the land. We've tried fences, traps, nothing stops them. If we don't fight back, there will be nothing left to harvest." I knew then it wasn't just Bob's fight. It was ours. The ancient invader. Wild boars, also known as feral swine, are descendants of domestic pigs brought to the Americas by European explorers centuries ago. Escaped or released, they bred with hardy Eurasian wild boars and became something new. Muscle-bound, razor-tusked, and almost supernatural in their ability to survive. They can weigh over 300 pounds yet sprint up to 30 miles per hour. Sows produce 2 litters per year, with up to a dozen piglets each time. They are omnivorous opportunists, capable of eating roots, crops, carrion, even small animals. A single sounder, a family group, can ravage an entire acre of farmland in one night. Multiply that by millions, and you have a continental crisis. Global scale of destruction. Across the world, the numbers are staggering. United States, more than 6 million feral hogs cause an estimated $2.5 billion in damage annually. Australia, roughly 24 million pigs tear through wetlands, threatening the Great Barrier Reef with nutrient-laden runoff. Europe, populations surge from Spain to Poland, carrying diseases like African swine fever that devastate domestic pig farms. This is not just a local farm problem. It is an ecological and economic disaster with no borders. Human stories of loss. Picture Caleb, a fourth-generation farmer in rural Missouri. His cornfields, once lush and emerald green, now look like a battlefield. Months of labor vanish overnight. "It's like waking up to a hurricane that only targeted you," Caleb says, voice breaking. "You plant, you pray, and in one night it's all gone." Families postpone weddings, delay children's education, even sell heirloom property to cover the costs of relentless raids. This is the silent heartbreak behind every statistic. Into the hunt, adrenaline and fear. When the decision is made to fight back, the hunt begins long before the first shot. Pre-dawn silence. Frost glitters on the leaves. The dogs are restless, noses twitching at invisible scents. Hunters like Bob and I take positions on the ridges, rifles steady, radios crackling with low whispers. Suddenly, a rustle. A massive silhouette bursts from the brush. Instinct overrides thought. Boom. The rifle's echo rolls across the valley. The boar collapses, but the battle is far from over. Every hunt is a contest of patience and courage, because hesitation can be fatal when a 250-pound animal charges at 30 miles per hour. Bold tactics against a relentless foe. To control these invaders, people across continents have developed extraordinary methods. Night vision stalks. Hunters use thermal scopes to track heat signatures in darkness. Helicopter calls in Texas. Skilled marksmen hover low, targeting entire sounders across remote ranchland. Smart corral traps. GPS-enabled gates close only when the entire group is inside, preventing a few survivors from breeding again. Judas pigs. A captured hog is fitted with a GPS collar and released to lead hunters to hidden groups. Each method is a high-tech answer to an ancient problem. Ecological earth movers. Wild boars are not merely crop thieves, they are ecosystem engineers of chaos. Rooting destroys native plant communities and exposes soil to erosion. Sediment clouds waterways, choking fish and amphibians. Ground-nesting birds lose their eggs to these omnivorous raiders. Dr. Hannah Kramer, a U.S. Forest Service ecologist, warns. When feral swine disturb the soil, nutrient cycles change. Streams can transform within a season. It's like turning a forest upside down. Disease highway. The threat doesn't stop with plants. Swine brucellosis can sicken livestock and humans. Leptospirosis spreads through contaminated water. African swine fever, carried by wild boars in Europe, can annihilate domestic pig herds, destabilizing food supplies. Every hoofprint is a potential outbreak. Human courage in harsh landscapes. Frozen mountain hunts. Ethan treks through waist-deep snow, breath crystallizing in sub-zero air. The mountains echo with silence until a dark figure emerges. One shot shatters the stillness. Victory here is not triumph, it's survival. Desert pursuits in the American Southwest. Noah scrambles across jagged cliffs as a herd thunders ahead. The chase tests every muscle, every heartbeat. This is not sport, it is a desperate defense of community livelihoods. Farmers turned guardians. When fences fail and budgets thin, farmers themselves become night sentinels. Caleb again, rifle in hand. Friends at his side, dogs leading the way. Every successful shot is not just a kill but a pledge, to protect family, neighbors, and the soil that feeds them. These are ordinary people forced into extraordinary battles. Technology and innovation. Drones equipped with infrared cameras track sounders in real time. AI software analyzes movement patterns to predict raids. Experimental contraceptive baits aim to reduce fertility rates. Yet experts caution, 70% of a population must be removed annually just to break even. Few regions achieve even half that. Ethical crossroads, gene drives. Some scientists propose gene editing tools that could make offspring infertile. Supporters call it a breakthrough. Critics fear an ecological domino effect if altered genes spread to other species. The question lingers. Do we risk reshaping nature itself to stop an invader we created through centuries of human error? Moments of quiet humanity. Not every scene is gunfire and chase. After a long night, Bob and I sit beside a dwindling campfire. The stars blaze overhead. He speaks softly. I don't hate them. They're just animals, doing what they must. But if we don't act, we lose everything. It is a reminder that this conflict is not about vengeance, it's about balance. Global lessons. Countries trade strategies. Japan uses community patrols and motion-activated alarms. Germany builds boar-proof fences along highways to reduce deadly car collisions. Australia coordinates nationwide aerial culls followed by habitat restoration. Yet everywhere, the theme is the same. Eradication is nearly impossible. Long-term management is the only realistic goal. The emotional core, why we fight. This is more than a war on wildlife. It is a struggle for heritage, protecting family land passed through generations. Food security, safeguarding crops that feed millions. Ecological balance, preserving forests, wetlands, and rivers from irreversible change. Every hunt, every sleepless night, every shot fired echoes with these deeper truths. Call to action. The wild boar crisis will not fade on its own. Governments must fund rapid response teams. Communities must share data and resources. Citizens can report sightings, support local farmers, and respect ethical hunting laws. Without collective vigilance, populations could double again within a decade, expanding into regions that have never faced this threat. Closing montage, dawn of resolve. Morning light spills across fields scarred but unbroken. Farmers inspect fences, hunters clean rifles, scientists test new strategies. The boars are relentless, but so is human determination. A narrator's voice rises. This is not the story of destruction. It is the story of resilience. We stand watch, guardians of soil and seed. Determined that the harvest will return.